hope you're doing well, and I hope you appreciate it to support me on my channel. And thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I'm so happy for you guys to join me on this brand new video. My name is Kid Borman. Some of you quite recognize me already on previous video, and some of you who new to my channel, by the way. Anyway, and so welcome to my channel, by the way, guys. And there's some of you, if you're interested about Read Aloud again, I'll be doing another video for you guys to watch and listen to me reading to you. So on this video, I'll be doing another reading of Disney books. I can show you a second. This is Tinkerbell and Friends. You can see the title next to the logo of Disney Fairies. It's something you're quite familiar with Peter Pan. You know Peter Pan, right? I'm familiar with Peter Pan. I think Tinkerbell franchise is spin-off to Peter Pan. So I think it's a story set in Neverland. It's in the start to the white, a strange morning. I think it's the same storyline, so something more similar to classic 1953 animated feature of Peter Pan of Disney. So this title is going to be, it is Prilla and Tink. Okay, if you're interested to read to me, guys. So I think it's Prilla and the Butterfly Lie. Tinkerbell takes charge. Is that okay? The first chapter is all about fairies. You ready to listen to me and enjoy your viewing? If you head towards the second star on your right and fly straight on to morning, you'll come to Neverland, a magical island where mermaids and play and children never grow up. When you arrive, you might hear something like a tinkling of the little bells. Follow that sound, and you will find Pixie Hollow, the secret heart of Neverland. A great old maple tree grows in Pixie Hollow, and in it live hundreds of fairies and sparrow men. Some of them can do water magic, and others can fly like the wind, and still others can speak to animals. You'll see, Pixie Hollow is another fairy's kingdom, and each fairy who lives there has a special, extraordinary talent. Not far from a home tree, nested in the branches of a horned fawn, it's Mother Dove, the most magical creature of all. She sits on her egg, watching over the fairies, who in turn watch over her. For as long as Mother Dove's egg stays well and whole, no one in Neverland will ever grow up. Once Mother Dove's egg was broken, but we are not telling the story of her eggs here. Now it is time for Prilla and Tinkerbell's tales. And it is Prilla and the Butterfly Lie. Okay? Prilla knelt toward a library shelf. She put her hands over her mouth to hold back her laughter. She kept her eyes on a little girl in pigtails who stood on her tiptoes, reaching for a book. The girl grabbed a book and slid it off the shelf. Quick as a wink, Prilla popped out from a space where a book has been. The little girl stared at Prilla for a moment, then she squealed. With delight, her eyes were wide. A fairy? Shh, said the librarian. She gave the girl a stern look. Prella giggled. She turned a somersault in the air and grab him, Prella, a voice cried. Suddenly, Prella was in the sunny meadow, back in the pixie hollow nettle. A caterpillar sharing talent fairy stood in front of her, holding a pair of shears. Nettle pointed to the caterpillar that Prella was supposed to be keeping still. The caterpillar was bucking around like a little green bronco. It had knocked over the sack of caterpillar thus. Prella sighed. It had been a long, trying day. She was very fond of Nettle, which was why she had found it hard to refuse when Nettle had asked her if she would like to give a caterpillar sharing a try. The day had started well enough. Nettle gave Prella a tour of the caterpillar quirrell. First they had seen some caterpillars hatching from eggs. Then they'd watched a few caterpillars shedding their skins. Next, they had seen some furry caterpillars making their cocoons. Suddenly, Nettle had grabbed Prella's arm. We are just in time to watch a butterfly hatch, she whispered. Prella had held her breath as silently watched a butterfly emerge from its cocoon. She was amazed that a funny-looking caterpillar could transform into such a beautiful creature. Watching the butterfly hatch had been exciting, but Prella had quickly realised that shearing caterpillar was not. Her job was to hold the caterpillars while Nettle clipped their furs with her shears. Prella tried hard to help, but the truth was that she didn't really like shearing caterpillars at all. It was hot in the sun. It was a dull doing the same thing over and over again. But most of all, Prella just didn't like caterpillars. Not one bit. They were prickly. They were kind of ugly. And they were grumpy. Bored. Prella had finally allowed herself to drift off and blink over to mainland. Prella was a mainland visiting clapping talent fairy. The only one in Pixie Hollow. In the blink of an eye, she could zip from Neverland to the mainland to visit children. Prella's talent was very important for it kept children's belief in fairies alive. When children didn't believe in them, fairies died. But Prella didn't visit the mainland, only to save fairies' lives. She went because it was her favourite thing in the world to do. And looked what had happened. She hadn't been paying attention, and now things were getting out of control. Prella leaned forward to grab the cranky caterpillar around its middle. It wriggled away from her, and Prella stumbled. The other sharing talent fairies chuckled in symphony. "He's a wild one, he is," said Jason. A caterpillar sharing talent sparring man. Prella tried once again to seize the creature. The caterpillar reared up. Prella lost her balance and fell backwards. She landed in the grass with a soft thump. Don't worry, Prella, you can do it, Jason called, noticing the frown on Prella's face. Still, the restless caterpillar wriggled. There, said Nettle in a soothing voice. She put down her shears. Nettle's gentle tone calmed the caterpillar. It began to settle down. Prella stood and brushed herself off, not knowing what else to do. She bent to pat the caterpillar on the head. Quickly, Nettle began to shear the caterpillar. In a couple of minutes, she had finished. That wasn't so bad, wasn't it? She asked. Prella wasn't sure if Nettle was talking to her or to the caterpillar. She shook her head up anyway. Nettle let the Nino-shown caterpillar go. Prella watched it as it inched away as fast as it could, which was pretty slow. Nettle smiled at Prella. You sit and rest, she said. I'll do the cleaning up. Prella lowered herself onto the moss-covered stone. She picked a stray piece of caterpillar fuss for the hem of a pale pink silk skirt. Nettle and the other caterpillar shearers began sweeping up the loose fuss. Thank goodness that's over. Prella thought, maybe tomorrow I won't do anything but blink over to the mainland as many times as I want. It wouldn't be a perfect day. Nettle put the caterpillar fuss she had swept up into a sack made of woven grass. She tied it shut with a flourish. Then she loaded it onto a wheelbarrow full of sacks. Jason picked up the handles of the wheelbarrow. He set off with the load towards the home tree for towering maple tree where the fairies lived and worked. Have fun, Prella. Thanks for your help, he cried. Fly safely, Jason, said Prella. She waved. Nettle sat next to her on the stone and patted Prella's knee. What a great day, Nettle said. I could tell how much you enjoyed it. Well, Prella began. Been outside, working with those wonderful caterpillars. Nettle leaned in close to Prella. She lowered her voice as if she were about to tell her a secret. Other talents may argue with me, but caterpillar sharing really is the most important talent. Would you agree? She went on, not waiting for Prella to answer. First of all, it helps the caterpillars grow nice woolly coats for when it's time to build their cocoons, and then they are all the great things we make out of our fuss. She began to list them on her fingers. Soft pillows, comfy, cozy comforters, light as a feather, blankets, thick sweaters, those wonderful lanes. Her voice trailed off. Prella nodded. She liked pillows, comforters, blankets, sweaters, and linens as much as a Max fairy did. It seemed the caterpillar sharer was very important. Yes, it is a lovely talent, she said out loud. I just hope I never have to help share another caterpillar ever again, she silently added. She leaned back on her elbows, and before Prella knew it, she had blinked over to the mainland. She saw a little girl holding a fluffy white dandelion. The girl pursed her lips to blow the seeds. Prella flew towards her. I said, "What do you think?" Nettle said suddenly. Prella started. Nettle was looking at her expectantly. Sorry, can you repeat that again? Asked. And then Nettle asked the dreaded words, same time tomorrow. Prella's heart sank. She stared at Nettle's hopeful face. No, thank you, she said in her head. I have other plans. I don't like caterpillars. I don't like them at all. She just didn't say the words out loud. Why, sure, Prella found herself saying. I'd be happy to help you out again. Great, said Nettle. I know you'd love my talent as much as I do. Nettle stood and picked up the last sack of the caterpillar first. She slung it over her shoulder and headed back to her home tree, whistling merrily. Well, that didn't go very well, Prella thought. It suddenly changes my plans. For tomorrow, she have to blink over to the mainland that night after dinner instead. As she got up to leave, the still evening air was stirred by the sudden brisk breeze. Out of the corner of her eye, Prella saw a flash of purple, and there, standing right of her, was Vidya. Hello, dearest, said Vidya. Did you have a nice day today? Do something fun? Her tone was mocking as usual. Will I? Prella began. Come, darling, let's go for the walk, shall we? Without waiting for Prella's response, Vidya set off at a quick pace. Prella stared at the Vidya's, repeating back in a confusion as the fastest of the fast-flying talent fairies. Vidya never walked when she could fly. It went against her nature. What is going on? Prella wondered. She followed Vidya to find out, racing to catch up. Even on land, Vidya was fast. Finally, Vidya came to a stop at the edge of a minnow pond. It was nearly sunset, and the sky was a soft shade of pinkish purple. There was a pleasant chorus of chirping crickets and peeping frogs. Fireflies had begun lighting up a dusky air around them. Vidya turned faced Prella. So, what have you been up to lately, dearest? She asked. Oh, a little of this, or a little of that, Prella answered. Replied Vidya. She had a funny look on her face, as if she was trying not to smirk a little tree bark. Gradling, Vidya asked sweetly. Vidya nodded. She remembered the splinters she had got that day. Maybe some floor polishing, Vidya went on. Prella winced. She had spent a entire afternoon on her hands and knees, helping polish the mica entryway in the home tree, and some dandelion fluff sorting. That made me sneeze, Prella recalled. She was beginning to feel self-conscious. Had she really been spending that much time helping out other tenants? She cleared her throat to speak, but video wasn't finished. And for the little caterpillar sharing today, look, Prella said. Video said. She. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I will continue for another part, in the second part, but I hope you enjoyed listening to me reading this most interesting story about Tinkerbell, who lives in a pixie hollow in the behalf of the heart of Neverland. I'm so you quite interested. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you enjoy this video. It was quite obvious, guys, so if you're ready, subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the notification. They'll be really absolute fab. Okay guys, so I'll stop there, I'll take a break, and then I hope you enjoyed this first part, and then I'll see you on the second part of reading Tinkerbell Friends. I'll see you guys and stay tuned.